because it will be important for us to know our DNA. Our point of take is when we get the results, how are we utilizing the results? Because we want to put at the center of our discussions and actions the rights of people involved in all this context of knowing the DNA. We have the child, we have the mother, we have the father. Okay? The rights of a child for protection is important. According to our Constitution, 1995, we are entitled to a name given by the parents. The same Constitution says we are entitled to stay and live in an environment that is conducive, free from violence. What I see as the way to go is the three parties need to sit down and agree. Yes, the results have come out. What do we do? Amicably, in terms of getting out of handling or managing this entire process. Our message, ladies and gentlemen, is seek the support of other people around you. Otherwise, you'll end up doing unacceptable things.
If you find out that actually, let's say you had processed documents, let's say passport for this child,
Yeah.
and you indicated that you're the father, but
Yes.
later on you discover that actually you are duped, you're not the real father, do you have a right to also recall that document so that that child henceforth can bear the name of the real father?
A child is entitled to a passport, nationality, and the evidence of a nationality is a passport. You have no right to destroy somebody's passport. So that's why it's important that we manage our emotions.
Why doesn't government champion this?
Government is already starting the process.
From where?
His Excellency has guided that we start the process of working on the guidelines.
So in all this, how do we protect these children from going through what is happening right now? Because they are not party to whatever is going on.
That's why I've been emphasizing the rights of a child.
How do we protect
As you
them?
go
That's what
through
I want
all
to know.
these processes, we must emphasize on protecting the rights of a child.
How?
So the two of you parties really come to a table to discuss how do we ensure that we don't violate this child's rights.
What's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in. Once again, as always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. I know you see the screen. You saw the title of this video. This is going to be a subject matter that really needs to be addressed. The problem with the world, with us, I say it in the United States, we like to tuck our heads in the sand, make problems, make mistakes, poor choices, and hope that no one finds out about them. Sometimes when people find out about them, the consequences are minute. But other times, they could be life-altering, if not life-threatening. Such as this case. Get this from the religionunplugged.com. Let's read this together. Why some clergy are warning Christians against DNA tests. Now, this story comes out of Uganda. But sorry to say, no, I'm not sorry to say, I must say, this type of things need, this test needs to happen in the United States. There are a lot of guys who are advocating, pushing for DNA tests being mandated, no matter if you're married or not, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, that you have to do DNA tests to see who the father and or maybe even the mother is. So, you know, sometimes these babies get snatched about the hospital, or they get switched at birth in the hospital. Things happen. So we need to, you know, we can get rid of all this, and from Jump Street, and start with a clean slate. But let's get into the story. You saw the video. It's right here, but you already saw the video. But let's read this article, right? This is out of Mukono, Uganda. And it reads, see, police in Uganda are holding an Israeli man on allegation that he murdered his Ugandan wife after conducting a DNA test on their 6-month-old baby, which showed that he was not her biological father. Raed Wated, 58, reportedly confesses to police that he deleted Monica Nabukenya, 25, in Israel because of her adultery. My first question is, what the heck is a 58-year-old man doing marrying a 25-year-old woman in the first place? Now I'm all for, telling jokes about, being a sugar daddy, or, getting old and married, being like, doing like Ronald Isley, being in your 70s, married to a 30-something-year-old. Why, joke about stuff like that. Still kind of crazy to me. You may need your young woman to take care of you, but, to actually think that you being older and you're gonna be able to hang with that young that young tender. It's just, come on now. That's just crazy in itself. Stick to someone, they're close to you. Like I said, I'm not tripping. 20s, because sometimes, younger women need to get them an older man, someone who's stable. Especially these women out here who want this traditional marriage, with the way the economy is and how it's hard to survive out here on your own. A lot of these young folks, they're living with their parents because it's just rent prices are ridiculous through the roof. So you just might need to get you an older person. If you're trying to get married, you got to find an older man that got something, that's stable. But let's continue. Police say that after Wated arrest on July 16th, he led authorities in Mpigi district, central Uganda, to a septic pit at their home on Kalagala village, where he dumped a body. Wated was arrested after the relatives of his deceased wife alerted police that she had disappeared from their marital home. I like the way they talk over there in other countries, using the word like adultery in marital home. That's soothing. It takes it back to a whole spiritual life when things were right. Let's see the recent murder highlight. I'm gonna skip through some of this, just read stuff at random. The recent murder highlights the threat DNA test results are posing on families as more men who seek paternity tests continue to discover that they are not the presumed biological fathers of their children. According to the Ugandan government, the number of men currently seeking DNA services this year has shot up by 70%. Mundinyi said that the men seek DNA tests want immediate proof of the paternity of their children. Remember back in the good old days when people got married and they consummated marriage, and you knew the wife was a virgin or never had sex because you saw the spillage of blood when she first when they first had intercourse, stuff like that. But nowadays the problem is, and people stayed away from other people's wives and stuff like that, and if a woman was like covered up, you knew she was married, and you didn't bother. Wives didn't stray too far from the husbands. When they went to town, they had the kids, the husband was with them. This and the third. Now in this country, now in this world, women go out alone. They want to go out alone, thinking they can take care of themselves. They want that freedom. Hell, they even go out in the middle of the night just to go to the store for whatever, or to go grocery shopping by themselves, for whatever reason, and feel like just want to do it. I can take care of myself. some of the dumbest stuff I've ever heard in my life, because there's some fools out here. I mean, they'll rob in daytime too, but at night, you increasing your chances of dealing with some unscrupulous people. Quote, last week alone, we had 40 people looking for DNA services at the Ministry of Internal Affairs, which controls the government analytical laboratory, says Simon Mundeyi, the ministry's spokesperson at the start of July. He added that in the previous 3 years, the average number of people seeking DNA services per month was only 3, compared to this year, when the number is nearing hundreds. But the DNA blood tests are threatening the sanctity of the Ugandan family. No, that woman out there cheating on her husband, getting pregnant by another man, ruin the sanctity of the family. Most men like Wated who receive negative DNA test results showing that they are not the biological father of their presumed children live a dejected life afterwards. It's like for Ibrahim Musisi, 40, a resident of Butebe village in Mukono Central Division, Central Uganda, who discovered that he was not the biological father of his 11-year-old daughter in 2018. Life has never been the same. Musisi has raised the girl single-handedly after separating from her mother, Patricia Barungi, in 2010 when the daughter was only 3 years old, only to discover in 2018 after conducting a DNA test that she belonged to another man named Fred Kisitu. And see, that's what the problem is. See, the women that go out here and do the unimaginable, they don't really care about the consequences. Even if, like I said, if your man out there in them streets doing what he do and you know about it, I mean, get back is not worth it. Getting out is the thing you do. You move on and you start your life over, and hopefully to find, a good dude. But saying that, I'm not saying that's what any of these guys did. I'm just giving a hypothetical. If that's the case, getting back, or if that's not the case, or just trying to be like men, or can't control your urges, or whatever the case, being upset with your man, whatever. This here, there's no coming back from it. The consequences are just too vast that to even take that chance. Because if you're married and you have a child and they find out that child, you don't know what that child gonna come out looking like. May not look like neither one of y'all. May come back looking like his homeboy or his cousin. If that child comes out and you find out that the father finds out that it's not his baby, man, it's gonna be devastating to him. Cause see, y'all act like that men don't care about their kids, and that's a bold-faced lie. I know men who will delete you easily or disown you immediately over his children. No questions asked, won't even look back. But y'all think that because you got this system over here where there's a separation, divorce, the mother's gonna most of the time get custody of the children. And if the father wants custody of the children, full custody of the children, he has to fight for them, but it's a hell of a fight. And it's hard to do. It's like the mother has to be like a homeless meth addict before the father can even get the kids. Or the mother just has to say she don't want the kids. Either way, most of the time the mother would get custody of the children. And for the father, it's just a financial fight that he may not have the money, he may not have the time, the energy, or the resources to do. So it's like, why even bother? Because I could be the best dad in the world, but if I got to sit here and fight the courts like this over my child, some people say, man, if you really want him, you just fight for him. Man, that's easier said than done. It's easier said than done. Some people win, most men win. Some men win, most men don't. But when you have a child and you raise that child and you love that child and you come to find out that child is not yours, that's the worst feeling in the world. That's why, like, a lot of men, I think they don't even do DNA tests because they know what the answer is going to be after some time. You know, it's like, nah, it's not even worth it right now. Because if that child is not yours, man, everybody involved, life is going to be upside down. The mother probably won't feel too shakes about it because she knew the truth from the jump. And she might feel a little sense of hurt or disappointment or devastation just because she got found out. But other than that, the kids and the father are the one that's going to suffer the most. And like this guy here said, what he said, my life was destroyed when they separated me from her. I don't mind what the DNA results said. What the DNA results said. I am her biological father. They forged the DNA results and took my daughter away from me. So see, he's talking crazy, talking about they forged the results. But no, dude, you just ain't the daddy, period. So just, I mean, like I said, this is just too devastating. And the thing about in them other countries, if there's a separation, the father will most likely get custody of the child before the mother will. So really over there, the mother has, like, I ain't gonna say really don't have nothing to lose, but you know, the father take the child, the mother go on about her business, and you know, should have more babies. So since being separated from the girl, Musisi has had nightmare punctuated sleepless nights with visions of the girl crying for him. He suffers depression and weight loss. He has a message to other men: get your children DNA tested earlier rather than later. But with the help of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, where Musisi converted from Islam after separating from the girl, he heals. Now look at this story here. Like I said, this is why you got to do it. When the child is born, you get the DNA test. Just stop the lie from the beginning, and then also will probably keep. I'm gonna tell you like this. To be realistic, you know, there are a lot of laws in place, and we still got a lot of crime. So it's not gonna stop it all, but I believe it will, if not stop the youngins from making these mistakes. It's gonna at least make them pay for what they done. That's for dang sure. Or they're not gonna get the outcome that they want. But let's look at this story real quick. This guy named Michael Kasawuli, a businessman, is also struggling to recover from the shock that after taking his 25 children for DNA tests recently, only to discover that 10 of them were not his. Damn. So this woman done had 10 babies by somebody else. Damn. The 10 included a 25-year-old male he had helped go to college and who graduated recently. He said he fallen out with his first wife, Rosemary Natume, whose 2 children the DNA results showed didn't belong to him. Although the couple has been married for the last 34 years, he is now evicting her from their marital home over infidelity, and the matter is in court. It said the issue of Ugandan men losing paternity of their children after DNA tests has recently sparked tension and forced men to rush for DNA tests. So, do you want to know if them babies are theirs? Some of them are looking for kids. Some of them are making sure that because it's about lineage, man. And that's with any guy, especially when you get older and you want children to you know, so you can pass something down. You work hard and you try to create a legacy to pass down to your blood. For men, that's important. It is. If you know, especially if you can have children. Hell, if you can't have children, I mean, all men want that, no matter what. And so you want to make sure that what you're passing down, you're passing it truly to someone who's in your bloodline. Women may not understand that, but my guys, y'all understand exactly what I'm saying. Let's say, but read this one little last piece here. Say before this wave of DNA test, clergy in Uganda had been urging the flock to work toward building strong Christian and Muslim families for the good of the society, and had somehow succeeded. But the DNA test results are ruining the families as men who discover that they are not the biological parents of their children abandon their wives and accuse them of infidelity. They say the result is more broken families where children are the victims, ending up missing basic necessities such as education and becoming lower class lumpins. What the hell? This threat to society has drawn the attention of the government and religious leaders. DNA tests were in July a hot topic in the Uganda parliament, which debated the matter with the utmost concern, along with other crucial subjects in the country, such as national security measures. So, like I said, and I'm looking through, this is like a whole article. Man, I'll put this in the link below. Y'all can read this for y'all. So, but yeah, the thing is, when you go into a relationship, man, what they say, they want truth and honesty going into a relationship and being in a relationship. You know, and the story here shows that it's not really been done. And like I said, the children are the ones who suffer. The children are the ones who suffer. Now, they'll talk about, as you see here, they talk about forgiveness and all, which is, you know, you know, if you, like I said, if you're part of the Christian faith, you know, they tell you about forgiveness, but then also talk about infidelity and adultery. So, I mean, you pick a side that you seem fit. But this is, like I said, this is mainly just to stop problems in the future. Devastating mental issues will be created if a child is born out of a lie, and in the end that lie comes out, and then everyone involved suffers. And like some of the earlier story, brother, you know, deleted his wife because he found out the baby wasn't his. I mean, I don't know what you think that man is going to do. Some men might cry. Some men might, you know, take it and say, okay, we just work with this. And some men can get violent. Some men might leave you, you know, high and dry. The question is, regardless of what you think is right, what you think is fair, what men can get away with, women can't get away with, all that BS. The question is, are you willing to take that chance, that life-threatening chance? For what? Is it worth it? I don't think it is at all, to tell you the truth. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Again, there's a lot of fellas in America trying to advocate for this. I think it's going to pass in some states, and it should be a federal law. Truth be told, that DNA tests are given, mandated, when a child is born. And really, if everybody, well, yeah, I was gonna say here, if the government got everybody's blood, shoot, you ain't gotta go in. The fathers, they ain't gotta go in and do a DNA test at all. Just take the blood of the child, and when it comes back, should just send the father a letter, let him know. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story, y'all. Leave your comments below and then share it with the world. And with that being said, I'll leave you in peace. And I'll see you on the other side.